The markets just opened and all eyes are on Tesla. Moments ago, the board of directors announced it is evaluating taking the company private. This comes just one day after Elon Musk, one of the world's most powerful and unpredictable CEOs, sent this very cryptic and market-moving tweet. I'm considering taking Tesla private at 420, funding secured. The tweet was sent just 30 minutes after Saudi Arabia acquired a stake in Tesla. And shortly after the tweet, the market halted trading the stock and reopening only after Musk sent an email to employees kind of giving a little bit of clarification. I want to bring in the CEO of Ritholtz Wealth Management and a CNBC contributor, my friend Downtown Josh Brown.
Yeah.
To me, this reeks of Elon Musk being the Donald Trump of Silicon Valley. Distract and change the conversation. He didn't like what Wall Street analysts were saying about the company. So in the first quarter, so he said they shouldn't get to talk about him. They shouldn't ask questions. He hates short sellers. Very similar. The president, his opponents, his critics, he obsesses over them. That's Elon Musk right here. To say he secured funding with no filing, with no official statement, how is that not market manipulation?
So I was actually on air yesterday when the news broke on the halftime report, and there are 4 other traders on the desk, and we look at each other like, wait a minute, can you actually do this? Is this typically what would happen if you are pursuing strategic alternatives? You would actually issue a press release, maybe alert the exchange, ask them to halt your stock for news pending, something other than, hey, you know what, we might go public, we might go private at 420. So it's shocking, but it's not out of character. And I think the Trump,
it's not out of character for Musk.
Right.
From the SEC's perspective, a social media post alone, could that constitute market manipulation?
So actually, you are allowed to use social media if it's an official channel and if all shareholders can receive it at the same time. And there was an issue with the CEO of Netflix using a Facebook page to make an announcement. I think they had crossed 1 billion streams or something like that. It was 2012. He was excited about it. He put this out on his personal Facebook page, and he got a Wells notice. Now, they didn't take any action. This is like... I think it forced the regulators to say, okay, there are new channels of mass dissemination, and they're okay to use, but of course there are rules around that.
But Josh, even for the board to say, well, in our board meeting last week, Elon Musk did bring this up as an option. I could bring up a lot of things as an option, but is there actually a rational case why there would be a strategic buyer who wants to take them private right now when you've got a company with production issues and negative EBITDA?
Yeah, no, it's probably not realistic. And if you read the sell side notes this morning, J.P. Morgan analyst comes out and says, well, he kind of is the CEO and he did say it, so we're going to model it. Like it's very, and by the way, look at how the bonds are trading. The bonds actually went up yesterday. The bonds are not indicating to the street that anyone believes you're going to have tens of billions in new debt issued. Right? Because if that were the case, you would have seen the opposite reaction. The other thing is there's still a huge delta between spread between where the stock trades now and the, quote, offering of 420. So if anyone really believed it, you'd be closer. There'd be much less of an arbitrage opportunity. So I think what people are looking at this and saying, okay, this is a little bit Trumpian in that Elon feels like he wants to tweet something, and then the company very hastily has to put out a statement backing it up. How many times have we seen that with the White House? It's a very similar dynamic.
What does the board look like there? Is the board of Tesla...
it's his brother.
So that's it. That's what I want to get into, because we talk about the board as sort of, the real senior management. Okay, so you have his brother,
right.
You've got a Murdoch. So, like, is it a posse of his homeboys, or is it an actual legit board?
So this is tough, Stephanie, because the reality is Elon Musk has made his shareholders a fortune. So nobody could look. By the way, the shorts who have been short, they've never been right. They've not made any money for their shareholders. The longs have made a lot of money. This is a $60-something billion market cap from an IPO just seven or 8 years ago. So
no one's doubting that the company made money and that people love their Teslas.
The board, you can't look at the board and say you have failed shareholders. Like, you financially can't do that. So it would be tempting to say, hey, here's 6 or 7 people that are rubber stamping whatever he wants. Do you think that the average shareholder wants anything other than Elon getting his way? Probably not. It's a huge cult of personality.
So the stock has made a ton of money. Is the company profitable?
No, they've lost $8 billion in 4 years.
Great. Is the board responsible?
Has it hurt shareholders? That is, when you have a fiduciary duty to a shareholder as a board of director, as a director on the board, it's about are the shareholders being treated fairly? Nobody would look at the share price.
They're absolutely being treated fairly. The company doesn't make money, and they're making a fortune.
It's one of the largest, actually, I think it's the largest publicly traded company that's not in the S&P 500. They've never made money. Now they're saying they'll make money in the second half of this year. The bears are saying this is a massive distraction technique. Where have we seen this elsewhere? Whereby it gives an opportunity to maybe rejigger some of those company forecasts as they have this discussion about somehow finding somebody who wants to take on $60 billion in debt to take this private.
Josh, just because shareholders are making a ton of money doesn't mean that the company is doing the right things fundamentally, especially if they're not making money.
That's the most important point. However, tell me in a year. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. I would say about 10 years ago,
Right.
Madoff investors were probably super happy hanging out in Palm Beach, and then they weren't.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.